Hello and welcome to day 23 of OctHorrorFest, and today I'm talking about the Japanese film Audition. Audition is one of those films that I've been meaning to watch for quite a while. I've been told that it is horrific and it scarred people, so naturally I was a little bit nervous going into this one. So this was actually quite surprising for me because I was expecting a lot more, I guess, horror than the film had in it. So we follow widower Shigeharu as his son says that he needs to find a new wife. Again, I'm very sorry for my pronunciations, I know they are awful, but bear with me. So I think he's a producer of some sort, and his friend from work essentially says, oh, we should set up an audition for a film, you know, you can try and find your wife through that. I mean, it's not the best way to go about things, but I do believe that Shigeharu had, you know, the best intentions. He kind of looks through the files of all these potential auditionees, and a girl called Asami is his pick. They go through the interview process and, you know, he only really has eyes for her, and he is kind of really enchanted by her emotional depth. And, you know, to begin with, she seems very sweet, but as the film goes on, it kind of very slowly unravels into something more sinister. The first odd thing that you kind of find out about her is that she lives in this very dingy apartment containing a phone and a sack. And there's this initial shot of her kind of with her hair over her face, kind of hunched over like this. And she's waiting for the phone to ring. Eventually rings and it's Shigeharu. So they go to meet up and have a drink, and it all seems completely normal. She seems perfectly fine. There's this thing in the back of your mind where you're thinking about that room with the phone and the sack. And to be honest, it didn't weird me out as much as I think it should have done. But it was very interesting that they planted these ideas of something not quite right, but it never really went anywhere for quite a while. So they go to a seaside resort thing on holiday together where he is going to propose to her, essentially. She's kind of like, let's have sex, and she's like, you have to promise to love only me. So they have sex, and then she is nowhere to be seen in the morning. So this is where kind of things go a little bit weird. So if you haven't seen this film, I wouldn't really watch any more of this video because I'm going to talk about it in great detail, because there are a lot of elements about this film that I really want to talk about. If you don't ever intend to watch this film, carry on. But anyway, so he tries to find her and it all just comes up with loose ends, and every kind of point where he visits, like the old ballet studio that she went to, there's this really creepy guy with no feet. Yeah, he's interesting. And he goes to the bar where she was meant to have worked, and there's this whole story about how whoever worked there before was dismembered. So there's this air of kind of, I guess, danger around her. Nevertheless, he keeps pursuing her. There was a moment in the film, he's kind of having a dream. I think it's a dream, I don't really know. But it goes to her apartment with the sack, and the sack all of a sudden starts to like jerk about, and I have never been so creeped out. Well, it was just so unnerving and so strange, and you still had no idea what the hell was in there. And it turns out there's a person in the bag, and this person has had its feet chopped off, hands chopped off, I think eyes taken out, tongue taken out, and it is honestly horrific. Like genuinely horrific. It was just so disturbing, and it really affected me, and this is probably one of the films that's affected me most out of the ones that I've watched. I can handle so many things, but human suffering to that degree and that dehumanization really bothers me. But it was very well done. That's all I'll say about that. So a bit before this, Asami is essentially drugged his drink because she saw a picture of his wife, and apparently she was mad about this. I kind of feel bad for him because he literally hasn't really done much wrong apart from maybe trick the audition thing, but he had good intentions. He just wanted to find a nice wife, and he seemed to really like her, and I think she's just taking it very wrong. So he is drugged and, you know, he can't move. Then she comes in and you kind of know what she's going to do to him based on what happened to the man in the bag. And this whole scene is honestly so tense and so well done. I did enjoy it, although it did make me squirm a lot. Again, I'm not going to go into too much detail just in case, you know, I have talked about a lot, but hey. Anyway, you kind of know what's going to happen to him. It feels like it's all helpless. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it, really. I'll leave the very ending just in case you've watched this far and you want to see what happens in the end. But in any case, it was interesting. I thought it was very well done. I thought it was very well executed. It was honestly a very intriguing film. It was very well written, really well acted. I had a kind of good time watching it, aside from those horrific bits. I thought how it built up Asami and how you knew there was something not quite right with her from the beginning, but it wasn't obvious and it wasn't kind of in your face. I thought that was very well done. Yeah, it was definitely the most disturbing film I've watched so far in this series. It is definitely one of the most disturbing films I've watched ever. And as much as I thought it was very good and I kind of enjoyed it, I don't think I would watch it again, purely because those images are gonna kind of creep up on me every so often, and I really don't like that. And yeah, that's about it for that one. I am kind of lost for words. I don't really know what else to say. If you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a like. Have you seen Audition? If you have, let me know what you thought of it in the comments down below. And I'm on Instagram and Twitter, so you can follow me in the links down below. And if you really like this video and would like to support me on Patreon, you can do for $2 a month, and that's about £1.60. And I will leave a link for that down below as well. So thanks for watching, and I will see you tomorrow for The Descent.